Oh, you do? Oh, wow.
I have one. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the MBTA, and I applaud you for the reasonable proposal that was put on the table to close the deficit for 1 year. But as you acknowledged, we'll be back right again next year trying to deal with it again. What's the timetable, do you think? I mean, the legislature will be out in July, not back till January, so are we going to be waiting? At this time next year, do you think we'll be debating what to do in terms of transportation funding?
I think we will be, as I said, given the fact that the MBTA next year will be in the same exact spot. And I think asking customers for another 25, 28, 35% increase on the heels of this one is not warranted. We saw record ridership in February. This past February was the highest ridership in the history of the T. It's probably because it was the one extra day, leap year, right? Is that right? No. But in all seriousness, what I heard, there is no company in this room that wouldn't love to have my problem, which is people want more of the product that I offer. Unfortunately, I can't afford to offer it. So I think we will be back. The speaker is out in the last week or so saying transportation is going to be his top priority, or one of his top priorities when the House reconvenes back in January. I know the Senate President has also been interested. We have briefed her and her team over the last several months about the challenges that we face. And I can tell you, the Senator probably knows this, I spent a lot of time with legislators who bring, and other folks who bring excellent transportation projects to me, good ideas about how we can invest. The bottom line about transportation is this, folks. It is about helping you do your job. If I'm doing my job, it's helping you do your job, which is move goods, move people, move your employees to and from as seamlessly and as well as possible so you can create jobs and economic development here. There are so many projects, however, that we just cannot afford. And I think for too long we've said yes or maybe and not been upfront to say, I love the idea, I cannot afford it. So, the person's point earlier about the inland route, I love the idea, we cannot afford it. We just can't. And so if we want to have these kinds of projects, we need to think about how we're going to pay for them. So I would be very disappointed. I think the governor would be very disappointed if 1 year from now we're not having a robust debate, which you need to be part of, by the way. You need to challenge us. If you think our cost structure is off, ask me about the PLA. Those are appropriate questions. Challenge me. Let me know. If you've got ideas about how we can do our business better, I want to hear those. I absolutely want to hear those. We had McKinsey in to do a pro bono project. How many lawyers in the room, by the way? Pro bono. Ooh, bad word, right? Exactly. They came in to do a project for us on how we could, again, improve how we're getting projects out the door and improve our cost structure overall. I have no problem opening my doors and having folks come in and help me how to, again, reduce our costs, improve how we're doing business for the long term. But there's no doubt that we cannot reform the place so that we can squeeze $1.3 billion out of it. It's just not possible.
Any other questions? John.
Yes, sir. I said, I badmouthed lawyers, now he's mad. Well, obviously the governor proposed a gas tax 3 years ago. Oh, did you not hear the question? He wants to know what my secret plan is under here to solve the ideas about what's on the table, what could be on the table for a long-term financial solve. I think it has to be a mix of things. Obviously, the governor proposed a gas tax 3 years ago. That was wildly unpopular. But we have to have some kind of, I think, of a user-based approach. So, our T customers are going to be paying more this year. We haven't raised tolls in a while. We haven't raised the gas tax in 21 years now. So 21 cents really, with inflation, is about worth 13 cents today. So that's what we're getting for our dollar. I think we need to put regional financing on the table. Secretary Gonzalez and I have talked about that. So for large regional projects in the future, we think probably the regions have to have a little skin in the game. And so that is a piece. We obviously don't have a strong county-based government system here in the Commonwealth. But places like Atlanta and Washington, D.C., and Chicago, when they're looking at Denver, when they're looking at expansion projects or even investment projects, they're looking at some regional financing as well. So whether that's DIF or TIF or local tax or what have you, I think all those things need to be on the table. And I also think we need to have a real prioritization. I hear from time to time through the MPO process, which chooses projects. I've been waiting for 22 years for this project. Okay, well, is it relevant today? That doesn't matter. I've been waiting 22 years for this project. Yeah, but it's a road to nowhere. It doesn't matter. I've been waiting 22 years for this project. We got to get real. We have to get real. So this isn't about where we are in line, but acknowledging even with 1.3 billion or billion or whatever we get, there will still be pressure on us, I'm sure, to build every project everyone has ever imagined. And we have to get real about that and prioritize it, again, around what moves people efficiently, how we create economic development and jobs in this Commonwealth. That is what transportation is all about. Great. Thank you very much. Sure. Thanks, Rick. My pleasure. Thank you.